Hey, it's Coach Justin from Ultimate Baseball Training, and today we're going to be going over 4 simple ways to improve your power at the plate, because every single hitter out there wants to have more power to hit the ball harder and further, crush more doubles and triples and home runs and all of that. So I wanted to share with you 4 simple things that are very, very simple to implement. They're going to take practice, but they're simple to implement, and they'll make a world of a difference with your power. So let's get into it. The first thing that's super simple, but it's not talked about a whole lot in baseball, it's talked about in other sports, but not so much in baseball, is exhaling as you make contact, okay? So what I mean is trying to sync up your breathing to when you actually hit the baseball, when you make contact with the ball, exhaling as you make contact with the ball. And you see this all the time in other sports. In tennis, that's what they teach you. As you're doing a serve or as you're, hitting the ball back towards your opponent, as you make contact, they want you to exhale, right? Boxers, same thing, right? As you deliver that blow, you're expected to exhale. Same thing when you're lifting weights. If you're doing a bench press, let's say, they tell you what? On the way down, inhale on the way down, and then exhale on the way up, because that will help you deliver the most power. And obviously, when we're talking about power, we want to deliver as much force as we possibly can on the baseball when we make contact with it. So just the simple act of exhaling as you make contact is going to help you get basically every ounce of your body into the baseball. So it's something simple. It's going to take some practice though. It's not the easiest thing. So you're going to have to start working on it just off of the tee and soft toss and front toss and BP, and then eventually it'll transfer over into a real game. So I don't want you to obsess over it. I don't want you to, spend too much time thinking about this, but just instead of worrying about when you're doing tee work, what happened in school today or whatever, instead of just mindlessly taking rep after rep, try to focus on syncing up your breathing, because I think it'll make a world of a difference in the long run. Another thing that's absolutely huge for your power is just hitting the ball at the right spot, okay? Making contact at the correct contact point. And you might be asking, well, how does this relate to power? Because when you make contact at the proper contact point, depending on where the pitch is located, when you do that, your swing is going to be the most efficient at that point, and you're going to have the most strength and the most power at that point. So an example would be, on an inside pitch, we hit the ball at a slightly different contact point than we do with a middle pitch or with an away pitch. Wouldn't you agree? So on an inside pitch, ideally, if the pitch is there, we want to make contact a little bit more out in front of the plate than we would on a middle pitch, or definitely on an outside pitch, okay? So an inside pitch, that's going to be where we make contact actually closest to the pitcher, most far out in front of the plate, okay? So on an inside pitch, we pull our hands in and we make contact here. That's going to be the most efficient path to this baseball. That's going to be where we're strongest and most powerful, okay? On a middle pitch, that contact point should ideally move back a little bit here. So the most efficient way to hit this ball is pretty much even with our front foot, or maybe slightly in front of our front foot. But if it's a middle pitch and we make contact way out here instead of where we're supposed to make contact, if we make contact way out here, that's not very powerful. That's not very efficient. That doesn't even look powerful or strong, right? Because we didn't make contact at the correct contact point. And then the last point is obviously an away pitch, and you have varying degrees of, it's not just inside, middle, and away, it can be anywhere in between there. But on an outside pitch, right, an away pitch, you let the ball travel just a little bit deeper, and then you drive the baseball to the opposite field, right? But on an outside pitch here, we don't want to make contact way out front. That's not the ideal contact point. And we're going to have an around the ball bat pat there. We're probably going to hit the top of the ball, get top spin, and hit a ground ball. So I think it's often overlooked, but just hitting the ball at the right contact point will make a world of a difference, because that's where your swing is going to be the most efficient. And then the next thing, whenever the term power is thrown out there, you automatically hear the word backspin come next, right? But backspin, it is important. And I want to talk about, how you actually get backspin the proper way, because a lot of players think that swinging down on the baseball, that's how you get that good backspin. But the chances of success are so slim to none there. Your timing has to be absolutely perfect if you swing down, and chances are you're going to swing and miss, you're going to beat the ball into the ground, and so that's not the most ideal way to generate backspin. The best hitters in the world, what they do to generate backspin, and they really get that good carry on the ball, they crush doubles and home runs, and they have a lot of power, which is what this video is all about, is power. The way that they do it is on the baseball here, right? Imagine this is a globe, all right? So imagine this is in your classroom, this is a globe, and obviously on a globe, what splits the globe in half? You've got an equator, right? So what you want to focus on to really maximize your power is hitting the baseball slightly, ever so slightly below that equator, because if you do, you're going to get backspin. If you hit above that equator, the ball's going to spin the other way. You're going to get top spin, right? So if you hit the top of the ball, top spin, bottom of the ball, if you hit too low, you're going to get too much backspin. That's going to be when you pop up to the catcher, right? It's going to be so much backspin that you pop up to the catcher, okay? And so we want to hit, you know, hitting the baseball, squaring it up right in the middle of the ball, that's not bad. I mean, that's a pretty good miss there if you square it up perfectly right in the middle. But when you're focusing on, you know, doing T-work and soft toss, front toss, BP, all of that, and even in a real game, if you can, your goal should be to hit the ball, the inside part of the ball, because you want to stay inside it, and you want to hit the ball, you want to strike it ever so slightly below the equator. That's going to produce that backspin that you're looking for. And I just mentioned, you know, staying inside the baseball. I think that that's absolutely crucial to generating backspin, no matter where the pitch is located, because when you take this inside the baseball approach, when you, in other words, I like to use the term stay connected. You're connected here when everything's in tight to your body. This would be disconnected. When you're away from your body, you're disconnected. But when you take that good connected swing, right, you're going to attack the inside part of the baseball, and you're going to have a higher likelihood of hitting just slightly below that equator. But if you get disconnected, okay, and I see this all the time on like low pitches and on, you know, pitches on the outer half of the plate, when you get disconnected away from yourself like this, what's going to happen is this is going to round the ball bat path. It's going to round the ball bat path. And so when you do that, your wrists are going to roll. You're probably going to hit the outside part of the ball, and you're going to hit the top of the ball. And as we just talked about, what's that going to produce? It's going to produce that top spin. So if you want to improve your power, hit the ball slightly below that equator, and you got to make sure that you stay connected so you take that inside bat path, and that'll get you what you're looking for. And then the last thing I'll leave you with for today's video, this will really help with your power, and it's not an instant overnight fix. This is something that you got to work on over the long haul. Just incorporate it into your training, but it'll make a world of a difference, is you have to work on rotational exercises, okay? So improving your rotational power, that's going to directly correlate to more power on the baseball field. And I think too many times, you know, don't get me wrong, lifting weights is absolutely critical for any athlete that's looking to play at a high level. But a lot of the times, baseball players are doing exercises in the gym that don't really relate to what they do on a real baseball field. So, you know, obviously the baseball swing and throwing for that matter, I think we can both agree there is a huge rotational component in the baseball swing and in throwing. So the more we can mimic that rotational movement in our training off of the field, the better our results are going to be on the field. So that's the last tip I'll leave you with. Improve your rotational power. If you'd like, I can make more videos on this particular topic, but a few of my favorite exercises that you can start doing, one of them is get yourself a medicine ball and do rotational medicine ball throws. I don't know if there's a movement out there that simulates the baseball swing as well as that rotational medicine ball throw, so definitely incorporate that. You know, landmines are another great exercise, and there's lots you can do with cables as well. Get on the cable machine. You can do rotational exercises with that, all right? And like I said, drop a comment, let me know. I'd be happy to, you know, show you some more exercises that'll help you improve your rotational power. But that's it. I really hope today's video has been helpful to you. If it was, hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate that, all right? Just let me know that you like this kind of stuff. And last thing, subscribe to the channel. We're coming out with new baseball videos every single week. I don't want you to miss any of them, so hit the subscribe button. Be sure your notifications are on, and I'll see you next time.